Oh, hi, podcast listeners. There's many ways you can listen to the Real Nerds Podcast. You can subscribe on iTunes. You can also subscribe on Stitcher Radio. You want to send us a Twitter message? You can do that. It's so easy, at Real Nerds. Like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. You can visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com, where there'll be a lot of articles for you to not only read, but to listen to our previous shows. Do you like your stories told through pictures? Then you can also follow us at Real Nerds on Instagram. You can also call us, 720-6nerds5. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Camera, action!
Well, a real nerd knows who shot, and a real nerd can follow the plot, and a real nerd can...
talk film! I'm sorry.
Take it outside.
Well, a real nerd knows who shot, and a real nerd can follow the plot, and a real nerd will give it all they got. Lights, camera, action! Real nerds.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast. We are the best podcast on the internet by some scientist data that doesn't exist anymore because, science doesn't matter anymore. So we're good.
Yeah, we're trustworthy. Just believe what we say.
Yeah, we're the most trusted news source on the internet, is what I heard.
Yeah, especially for movies.
Yes, very much so. So for 14 years, we have seen a new movie and we podcasted our experience to the world. This week we have two movies from the world of John Wick, Ballerina. Why don't they just chop off the first part? It just seems so... I know they're trying to sell a movie, but...
Because people aren't just going to go see a movie called Ballerina.
the trailer won't sell them. Okay, just wondering.
I don't work in the marketing department for Hollywood.
Well, every time I see this, because so my kid's been wanting to watch South Park, but because I've seen so many episodes of South Park, I kind of forget what's in them. And I learned that I can't just show them one because we were just watching it, and the one where they go, James! I forgot there was this big gay orgy at the end. And I said, I'll screen them, but Kellen really loves the Osimo episode, and that one's there's some silly things in it, but I always think of the movie execs in there where Osimo's pitching him ideas. Or how about Adam Sandler falls in love with a dolphin or stuff? Oh yeah, that's brilliant! And when I see movies with the title From the World of John Wick, Ballerina, that's all I think of. It's just a bunch of guys who don't understand movies going, oh my god, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, what if you put John Wick : Ballerina? No, then they'll think it's a John Wick movie.
Yeah, but if we what if we put From the World of John Wick?
Sold, you did it.
Yes. Yes. And we also saw the Phoenician Scheme.
Phoenician Scheme?
Phoenician Scheme, whatever. That's why the movie's not going to succeed, because its name is stupid. But we're in the same room, Brad.
Yeah, we're doing a podcast in the same room for...
Yeah. Happens every once in a while.
Every once in a while. It sounds so much better.
It does. You know what's weird, too, is because I know fans always love our Film Explosion episodes, but, we're out of, going to do the retro ones. We've actually caught up. But this year, we've actually not needed a filler episode.
Yeah, for a calendar that's been pretty sparse last year, it's starting to fill out now.
Even in a couple weeks, I think I'm going to have to double up the movies again. So it's just, it's fun. It's nice that there's robust films in the theater to check out. So if you've never listened to us, thank you for listening. We will recommend each film, play the trailer, then spoil it. So yeah, we also talk about the nerd news of the week and movies or TV shows we've watched throughout the week. And also, you can see us in a few weeks. We'll be at Fan Expo Denver. We'll be welcoming campers to Camp Real Nerds. Our take on Friday the 13th. We'll have a scavenger hunt for you. You can win prizes. You can record on our show. You'll get a nice summer camp vibe by hanging out with us.
And we promise you won't die if you come to our camp.
I don't make any guarantees.
That's a weird thing you can't guarantee.
Well, I can tell you what, I could take a shit in a box and slap a guarantee on it. All I told you was a guaranteed piece of shit. But
someone trips over the docks we built and they smash their head on the concrete.
What's going to happen? Actually, Kellen gave me a really good idea, and just, because we're going to have water around the dock. He says you should put a little canoe in there.
I was looking. Do you know how much a regular ass canoe costs?
Oh yeah, they're
Yeah.
super expensive.
I couldn't even find like a kid sized one. It's either like dollhouse miniature size or human adult size.
But see, if we get like a dollhouse size one, we could put a little figure like reaching up and grabbing.
It would be so small that you just step on it.
Well, we tell people, we'll put up a sign, don't wade in the water. So yeah, make sure you say hi to us. You'll get a very nice vibe. Maybe I'll go to Yankee Candle and find a candle and like light it and hide it underneath. It smells like wood.
I don't think the convention center is going to appreciate you burning a candle next to all our wood.
How would they even know if I hide it? Brad, think outside the box.
You'd have to hide it under the docks with our wood, and it would burn under.
Ambiance. I have to think of everything.
We'll save the fire for the last day.
Okay, thank you. It'll be the Freddy versus Jason theme.
Yeah. That's how. Then we'd have to like move all the shit out. We just burn the whole thing and leave.
Love it. Sweet.
Yeah.
So, Brad, we'll start with our first movie. We'll start with the Wes Anderson movie that I can't say, right?
The Phoenician Scheme.
Yeah. Do you recommend that film?
I do. It's fun.
Such insight from Brad of Real Nerds.
It's like everything you expect from Wes Anderson. It's like the Grand Budapest Hotel. It's like the French Dispatch. Visually, thematically, script, dialogue, like all of it's the same vibe. Asteroid City, like that whole, I think there's like pre-Moonrise Kingdom and after Moonrise Kingdom, like, or maybe even Fantastic Mr. Fox. Like he's like honed a very specific style ever since then. Whereas I think like Royal Tenenbaums and Darjeeling Limited, all those had like a very like a little sloppier vibe to them. So yeah, but I think it's fun. It's nothing like, the story's not anything. The story's a little Life Aquatic, but like father-daughter instead of father-son. But yeah, it's still like a visual indie treat.
So after months of us agreeing, all the reasons the Phoenician shit. Just kidding.
Don't pretend you hate this movie. So
I don't hate it, but all the stuff you said you appreciate about it,
you hate it.
I didn't hate it, but as I'm watching it, I'm going, man, when is Wes Anderson going to push himself as a filmmaker? Not saying that the stuff he's doing isn't intricate and has a design, but you're right. I love Moonrise Kingdom. It's one of his films. But after that, thanks, buddy. It feels
the same.
I'm just watching different settings of the films. So yeah, I mean, I recommend the film, but I wasn't enamored with it. Here's a trailer for the Phoenician Scheme.
At this moment, rescue workers are laboring to recover and identify the remains of Zsa Korda, international businessman, maverick in the fields of armaments and aviation, among the richest men in Europe. This was Korda's 6th recorded airplane crash. He is survived by 10 children, 9 boys, 1 nun, his daughter Liesel.
I've appointed you sole heir to my estate, which you may come into sooner rather than later.
Why? It's been 6 years since our last meeting.
I have my reasons.
Which are what?
My reasons? I'm not saying. I'm saying I'm not saying. Korda Land and Sea Phoenician Infrastructure Scheme. My most important project of my lifetime.
Our objective: disrupting, obstructing, impeding, crippling Korda's enterprise in any manner possible.
Get the hand grenades. Today, tonight, and tomorrow, we rendezvous with every Titan and pretend we agree what we already agreed. But in fact, we don't. We can't. Call it.
Heads.
Heads.
Is this supposed to be here? It was under the lunch trolley.
Oh dear, who shot you?
Tara's from out of town. Help yourself to a hand grenade.
You're very kind.
Could you imagine falling in love with a man like me, by the way, hypothetically?
You're drunk on 3 beers.
Why are you shooting my ceiling?
This is a robbery on behalf of...
I understand that. I'm asking about my ceiling. You idiots are destroying a magnificent nightclub.
One thing you'll never know because you can't. The truth.
I suppose I'm moved by this absurd performance. I recognize this assassin. Oh no. Suicide pedal.
Merciful Father, take this miserable sinner into the comfort of heaven.
Brad, tell us the plot. I know he's one of your favorite filmmakers, so I'll give you the spotlight today.
Okay, so the film is about Zsa Zsa Corda, played by Benicio del Toro. He's like a tycoon who is trying to secure his legacy and amass a fortune before he passes, and he's worried about dying because a lot of people in the world are trying to kill him. For what reason, I'm not sure, other than like he's a tycoon, and if he succeeds, then they don't succeed. Meanwhile, he has a estranged daughter that he wants to reconnect with and leave all his assets to. So he's like, come join me as I do this one last deal and learn how I do things so you can inherit all this. And she's like, well, you have 8 or 9 other sons. Why don't you let them do it? He's like, well, some of them are adopted, so I don't like, and the others are dumb, so I don't want to like, you're the one I trust, so come along. And then there's this, she's a little suspicious that he killed her mother, and he suggests that their uncle did it. And so she comes along saying like, okay, I'll do this as long as we expose your brother or your half brother and we take him to jail or whatever. And as they go from business person to business person, they try to secure a certain percentage of a deal, and each time things don't go great. So he takes a loss, he takes a hit, until they do all the deals and he has to spend the rest of his fortune to cover the losses, and it makes him broke and penniless, but at least he still has his daughter.
Yeah. So Benicio del Toro is great in the film. What I do appreciate Wes Anderson films is he gets a lot of big name actors, and they're willing to take roles that maybe aren't very big, just to be a part of his world. And like I mentioned at the top, it looks fantastic, and everything is so intricately presented to you on screen.
Every frame is a picture, or painting, and everything is specific and perfect.
So I always wonder, because actually, the last Blu-ray of his I have is Moonrise Kingdom, and I always love the making of his stuff, but I always wonder how much, on a call sheet, how much is planned ahead of time before the actors even get there, and how intricately he blocks them, because they all seem they move with purpose, and I don't know if his style of filmmaking allows for very much improv, just because everything is so planned to the smallest detail. I love Del Toro in it. I thought Tom Hanks was great. Even Scarlett Johansson, she's in it.
Her deal is probably the weakest of the stories. Yeah. It's really just because he's only securing her assets because he's going to marry her. Yeah. So it's not like as complicated of a deal as everyone else's.
Also a cousin, so
yeah,
a second cousin, I guess.
Second cousin, yeah. But it's also more of a business relationship than a romantic one, I think they said. So that's why it's okay.
I guess it's just like a Rudy Giuliani style. I think Rudy Giuliani married his first cousin. But anyways.
I don't know. I think a lot of those gags are funny. Like, it's funny when the first crash happens and they're like reporting on his death, and the camera moves over. And he's saying, the reporter's just like, "Oh, he's alive."
Yeah, there is moments in it, and I said it's hard because it's not that it's a good movie. I feel as I was watching it, and it goes by quickly. I'm not saying it's like a drag to watch or anything,
but the scheme is a little complicated, and I've seen it twice now, so. Like, it helped the second time around.
Maybe I need to see it again, because when I watch it again, I thought the scheme was lacking, and it's more of not what's people are saying or what the scheme is. It's more of, hey, this is a Wes Anderson movie, so you're right, I need everything to look like a painting. I need everything to be really intricate. All the characters are a little quirky.
Yeah, all the same dry delivery. Like everyone has the same, what's the word?
Cadence,
yes.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's hard because I do recommend it, but I wasn't, as I was watching, I never felt, transported like I did, in Fantastic Mr. Fox. He creates this world with stop motion, and it's the same kind of setup. But there, I don't know, it just felt more magical to me. And then Moonrise Kingdom, I guess it's one of my favorite of his films he's done. I don't know, there's something about the young love in it, and yeah. How many movies has Bill Murray done with him now? I was thinking about it as I was sitting in the theater. It has to be over half of his films, right?
Yeah, there's one, I think he missed Henry Sugar.
Well, it was his first one, Royal Tenenbaums?
No, I think it was Rushmore.
Oh, it was Rushmore. You're right.
Yeah.
Because it goes Rushmore, then Royal Tenenbaums.
And I don't think he was in Bottle Rocket, because obviously that's before Rushmore. So.
Well, that one, yeah. I mean, Bottle Rocket's fun, too. That's the Wilson brothers and a couple of his other people. But
yeah, Jason Schwartzman wasn't in this one, so that's different. Yeah, I think I guess he was in French Dispatch and what was before that? Isle of Dogs, I think.
And then obviously he's the lead in Zuzu.
Yeah, so most of them.
Yeah, so he's kind of like his go-to guy.
He's only in Darjeeling Limited, like chasing the train in the first couple seconds of the movie.
I haven't seen that movie in forever. That seems, I think, so Moonrise was after Darjeeling, right?
Darjeeling, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Moonrise Kingdom, Grand Budapest.
Yeah, because they start mushing together after Moonrise. And, that's what I mean. I wonder if obviously he has an audience and he's built a reputation. And obviously people love working with him because he gets the same people, whether it's a DP or actors. So, he has such a unique voice. I'd like to see him maybe
stretch a
little more, or maybe go back. I know it's hard to he can make any movie he wants now, but it's hard. I'd love to see him go back to something like a Bottle Rocket, or I don't know.
Yeah, I think his idea of stretching is doing a square frame movie. Seems like he's abandoned the letterboxed framing.
He has, and in fairness to him, though, if I remember right, I think he said he wrote this right after Asteroid City. I think it's been done on a writing side for a while.
I don't think Bill Murray's in Asteroid City, now I think about it.
He's not, is he?
Yeah. Anyways.
But
he's kind of been doing the same thing for a while, so.
But again, it's hard. Because I don't think he makes bad movies.
But it's also like, how do you, for someone who has achieved such perfection in what they want to get out of the frame, what is beyond that? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I think it just comes down to the story, and everyone having that same cadence through a bunch of different movies as kind of.
Yep.
Because Gene Hackman doesn't do that in Royal Tenenbaums.
No,
right? Yeah.
No, it's interesting. I was reading an interview with Wes Anderson after Gene Hackman died. And he talked about how Gene Hackman hated him because, he wanted things done a certain way. And Gene Hackman came from, the 70s and he didn't understand the little, I don't know what you'd say, but Wes Anderson's basically saying it was his fault because he was super young. He didn't appreciate where Gene Hackman was coming from, because by then was Gene Hackman been in movies for 40, 50 years. And so, I'm guessing he didn't get this little quirkiness about it. But Hackman's great in the Royal Tenenbaums. So
yeah, Hackman comes from a place of the actor dictates the performance, and the director just nudges it.
Yeah, he's like the steward of it.
Whereas I'm sure Wes Anderson's I want to see it like this and this and this.
Yeah. So I know I wish I could say more. I didn't move me, But
the first time I watched it, there was an error at the Mayans, so the sound was out of sync.
Oh, that's...
So, that whole stretch after the train basketball game, and then the French nightclub. Like I lost all that exposition,
and that's brutal because your brain can't because I stream my cable now because I'm not going to pay $250 for cable, and a lot of times on the live TV it's out of sync, so I have to pause for like the stream to catch up and then unpause it. But yeah, it's distracting. I don't know. Maybe I'll see it again. Maybe I'll change my opinion about it. Because you're right. It seems like this scheme. It seemed like it was second to everything else that was going on.
Yeah.
How the movie looks and all that stuff. So
yeah, we didn't even talk about the twist of Michael Cera, which I kind of saw coming. Because there's just like some little giveaways of like, I feel like this guy's a double agent.
Yeah. What's funny too, when I watch Michael Cera now, we've grown up with him. I mean, when you go back, Superbad is what, 2009, and that was kind of his, or is it 2006, 7? Yeah. But when you watch Arrested Development, and he is literally a kid in that show, and now here we are, 23 years later, and he's still doing his thing. He's an actor who doesn't appear in very many things, but I always like watching him on stuff because he feels like he fits into the Wes Anderson kind of model of making film.
Yeah, that's what people are saying is like he should have been in part of his like menagerie before.
Yeah,
and yeah, I think he's that was probably like the most interesting. Not that it was even a surprise, but I think by the end of the movie, I was like, because when they get to Uncle Newbar, I really didn't understand like his whole deal.
Yeah.
Obviously they were at odds, but like when he tries to kill him and everything, and then blows himself
you're really
up.
Good at remembering names. Like you're saying the names, and my brain can't. I mean, I know who they are, but I don't remember the names.
Yeah, I don't remember Michael Cera's character's name.
Bjorn.
Yeah, I should have remembered that. I said a whole bunch.
Yep. Yeah, because I mean, his cast is so sprawling that. That's why I just call them by their actor names because I can't. I mean, I have IMDb open right here is why I could remember Bjorn because it's right there.
Yeah.
But yeah. We saw a second movie this week, Brad.
We did.
We saw Ballerina. Do you recommend Ballerina?
Yeah, I really recommend the second half of it. Maybe. I think it takes a long time to get anywhere that's really interesting. The action's amazing, and yeah, the final set piece is pretty good. But a lot of the backstory, I didn't like. I wasn't that interested in, and it's not like she has the backstory of like, was it Red Sparrow or something, or Black Widow? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wish her backstory was a little more complicated and deeper. So.
Yeah. So yeah, you and I agree on this a lot. I mean, in my review on Letterboxd, I wrote some sloppy scripting and stilted delivery hurts the first half of Ballerina. I agree. I mean, it's a cool movie to see, but for a movie that's only 2 hours long, it takes or maybe it's longer than that, but it seems like it takes a long time to get going because even, I guess I'll talk about it after this trailer, but yeah, the first half of it is you're supposed to care about this person. You go, meh. Meh. Lance Riddick was in it a lot more than I thought he was going to be.
Yeah, it's weird to think that they shot his scenes. Like this movie's been being made for like 4+ years.
Yeah, and they had to have shot his scenes with John Wick 4 would be my guess, knowing that he was going to be in the spinoff. I mean, obviously no one knew he was going to pass away. Even sad, but yeah. So he was in it more than because he's in it more than he was in John Wick 4. So yeah, here's a trailer for Ballerina.
When you think of me, you should think of fire.
I know you. I know your pain.
This isn't done until they're dead.
Buena suerte, señorita.
When you think of me, you should think think of fire.
Those people that you're looking for, they're surrounding this hotel right now.
Risen from the ashes, again and again, fire.
You don't choose to be a killer. You are chosen.
No, I chose this!
Consequences.
Risen from the ashes, again and again. Fire. Again and again. Again and again. Fire.
And what, may I ask, is your name?
When you think of me, you should think of fire.
So from the world of John Wick, this young girl, I can't remember her name.
I think it's Eve or something.
Yeah, you're right. I think it is Eve. She is. It opens with her as a very young little girl, and her father is wanted for some reason. By,
very very Keanu Reeves looking father.
Yeah. But that opening when they're looking for her dad, I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, they have that little secret back room thing going on.
The gunfighting in it was really cool. But then after that moment, it seems, I mean, I could be wrong, but it felt like it was an hour to get the rest of it going. It probably wasn't that long because they had the scene where they're fighting in like the Polar Ice Club or whatever it was.
That's the other thing too, is like, even by the end of the movie, she's not great at fighting, but still manages to like find her way.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting, which it makes sense in the beginning of the movie because she's very green in that nightclub scene. So I was like, okay, she's getting thrown into walls, whatever. Mm-hmm. She's not like a perfect assassin yet, but even by the end, she's still pretty bad at it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's cool. I mean, because, the world still doesn't make very much sense to me. I mean, I like the John Wick movies, and I mean, John Wick 4 I thought was awesome. But when you strip it all down, I mean, I always call them Super Mario coins. I don't understand what the coin actually does. I know it gets you into the Continental, but then they can lose them, and she only has one. How do you get more coins? You have to hit a question mark block.
I think if you kill more people, you get more coins.
And then there's a secret society.
Complete more contracts.
They kill assassins. Assassins kill assassins, but the assassins do jobs that they constantly get double. I don't know what's going on. I go for the action.
And it really must be a world of only assassins, because by the end, she goes to a town where the whole town are assassins. Like, they live, wake up, go to bed, like ready to kill people.
I mean, I thought it was kind of a cool concept.
Yeah.
Of, Gabriel Byrne is bad guy. I forget his name. But so he runs this whole town, which
the Chancellor.
So I guess it's like a cult, because you find out that her dad escaped from the cult, and that's why they're coming back, because he doesn't allow anybody to leave.
And he was supposed to raise that daughter in their cult. Yeah. But
then she got picked up by Angelica Houston's theater thing that John Wick is part of.
The Russians or something.
Yeah. I did like, though, that they did kind of go back to the legend of who John Wick is, that he's so badass that everybody's scared of him, and they don't really call him John Wick. They call him the Baba Yaga or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they have these little moments with him and Eve that are really fun. But yeah, you're right. But it was fun when she got to the town and it's kind of snow, and it gave it a different vibe to it. And I had a trouble understanding at the end. So Angelica Houston's lady sends John Wick to kill Eve. And then when he's there, John Wick is saying, "I'm not going to kill you. I'm giving you an opportunity," or whatever he says. And so they do this kind of cool choreographed fight where he's not trying to hurt her, but he doesn't want to lose. And he says, "I'll give you to midnight to kill this guy." And then he helps her kill him at the end. And then So I guess everyone at that whole cult just forgets about it that didn't get killed. Whatever.
I think she killed everyone in that town.
Did she?
By the end of it.
I mean, I didn't see everybody die. So
yeah, no, because Eve was part of John Wick's Russian gang with Angelica Houston. By her going rogue and attacking the Chancellor's faction, Angelica Houston had no choice but to like insulate herself by like, okay, we got to kill her. So she sent her best assassin, which was John Wick. But John Wick was sympathetic of like, okay, well, I'm supposed to fulfill my contract by midnight. So if you can do your thing before, like, once he's gone, then. But yeah, you're right. Like anyone, if there's any of the Chancellor's lackeys still running around, they could still like vow vengeance against.
You know, I guess it's just like the John Wick movie. You shouldn't probably think too hard about it.
Yeah.
But this also didn't have that huge set piece that was memorable. You know, in John Wick 4, why I love that movie so much, it had the over-the-top video game one. It reminded me of, you know, like Total Carnage or something, or Smash TV. And then it had the stairs, which I thought, it sounds really repetitive, but it was so cool.
Yeah. This one has, like, the flamethrowers, which I thought was, like, you see in the trailer, she's holding off, like, a flamethrower with the fire hose.
Yeah.
But like before that, they don't show you as like kind of 3 different people have flamethrowers and they're just like jumping over stuff and like firing at each other like they're rocket launchers.
Yeah, I mean it's totally ridiculous, but it's fun.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was cool, but you know, I was looking for the whole set piece. I mean, I guess again, the ending is really badass. And what's the lady's fucking name who plays Eve?
Ana de Armas.
Thank you. She's good. Fighting, you know, I'm not sold really on her acting, but I don't think it's really her fault because the script isn't that strong.
Yeah, Eve's not like a deep character. I mean, neither is John Wick.
He's not, but there's something about how Keanu Reeves carries it without saying very much. And I think maybe too, Eve does feel like she has more dialogue in the movie. And I know reading that Keanu Reeves purposely makes sure John Wick doesn't say very much. So maybe that too, but you know, it's directed well. I think Len Wiseman's a good director. He did most of the Underworld and a few others. So he's definitely capable and you can see it on screen.
That whole Fight Like a Girl like soundtrack at the end very much felt like Underworld.
It very much did. And it was funny because I went and saw at the Alamo, they played the music video of that before the movie. And I go, yep. This definitely feels. Yeah. Hey, and I also took my kid to see it. I said, you know, I read the rating stuff on IMDb, and I mean, I knew like the violence and gore was going to be severe. But I looked, and there wasn't that many cuss words, and there's no like nudity. I'm like, you know what, he can probably handle this. And it's so stylized, the violence, that it's fine.
Yeah,
and he thought it was cool. So.
But yeah, as far as like Eve's backstory, like it's a typical like you killed my father, I want revenge, and it's like I wonder if like it's called Ballerina. Like the most ballerina I saw from her was like her longing for like the little ballerina in the jar stuff. Like she doesn't really do.
Well, she has that whole sequence at the beginning where she's spinning, and Angelica again. I don't understand why they have to be ballerinas too.
Yeah,
I guess to cover. I guess.
Well, I figure like that would figure into like her fight choreography.
Oh yeah.
But it doesn't.
Yeah, now that you say that, it doesn't. It'd be cool if she was like twirling and grabbing stuff. And why don't we just write movies, Brad? I don't get
like it makes her more athletic, but it doesn't. Yeah. Like I don't really see ballerina style dance in her choreography by the end of the film. You know?
Yeah.
So I just it feels like that should have been reinforced. But
and you know, Matt Stone and Trey Parker have totally ruined montages in movies for me because every time there's a montage, I just think of the montage song from Team America, and it plays out just like that in this movie. You know, it says go in slow motion because it seems like more time has passed in a montage, and yep, this is how this is ending. So it's a fun movie. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah,
you need some fun action, but
yeah,
like most of the John Wick movies, don't go for like the deep story.
Yeah, just
character
go
development,
for the cool action. All right. This is the nerd news.
It's real news.
So, Brad, the big news this week is video game news. The Switch 2 launched, and it broke sales records. It sold 3.5 million units worldwide in 4 days. So I know one of the big fears of Nintendo fans is going to be like the Wii U. I think it's pretty close to outselling the Wii U already. And what's really interesting about it is the only big game was that Super Mario Kart or Mario Kart World Tour, and it sold the console. And I think Nintendo built up so much goodwill for the Switch that people says, you know what, it's worth it to buy it, because the big thing, people were complaining about the price, and then I started seeing on the internet and news say, well, when Nintendo 64 came out, it was $399, and the cartridges were $85. So is it really more expensive? Not comparatively. And they have been able to show the value in the system. Just like the Switch, it's a handheld system plus a TV system, which, if you watch the trajectory of Nintendo, they've cornered the market. And
like if you bought a console and a handheld together, it would probably cost you $500 anyway.
Exactly. And I don't know about you. Every time I travel, I bring my Switch. There's always tons of kids playing Switch. In fact, the last time I flew on a plane to Vegas, I turned on my Switch and it asked me if I wanted to play, because I was playing Super Mario Kart 8, and there was some kid on the plane playing Mario Kart 8, and it popped up that if I wanted to send a friend code and play with him on the plane, which I didn't, only because the Wi-Fi on airplanes is not that great, but still cool though.
Yeah, I don't think there was a doubt it was going to be like a big launch, and they did themselves a service by having like enough supply for it, which a lot of other console launches have been deficient in lately.
Mm-hmm.
But will it get to that 100 million plus like the Wii did, or its predecessor, the Switch?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they have to continue. I think Thursday they're having a Nintendo Direct with Donkey Kong Bonanza, which I think looks really cool.
Yeah, I want to play it.
But I didn't get one because I'm going to Disneyland and I have too many bills right now. It's something I'm gonna have to plan for. But when they announce the Super Mario game, I will probably get it then. And I'm hoping it'll be a bundled one, just like my Switch is the Super Mario Odyssey Switch. No, sorry, it's on the bottom. So it has.
No, I just stood my back.
It has the red Joy-Cons on it. Mm-hmm. But the one thing I saw that the clicking Joy-Cons, a lot of people say those are a lot nicer.
Magnet attachment. Yeah.
So it should be good. So that was cool. They also did the Summer Game Fest, which is kind of a new thing they've done in place of E3 in a way. The big game that came out, well, there's two. Resident Evil 9 was announced. Did you ever play any of the latest Resident Evils?
No.
They're fun. One of my, I don't know if it's a complaint, but I always thought of Resident Evil as a third-person action game or survival horror. And for Resident Evil Biohazard, which was 7, they switched it to first person, and they wanted to make it more scary, so it's more intense, which I thought they did a pretty good job in. But the mechanics I just didn't like as much. Not that it's a good game, it's just it didn't pull me in like the other games. And so when they released Village, which was 8, it was weird. I've never been less excited for a Resident Evil game. And I usually get every Resident Evil game. I love the Resident Evil series, but I wasn't that excited. In fact, I played it a little bit when I got it, and it was cool because they changed it from zombies and it was werewolves. So it had a really cool, intensity to it. And it was fun, and the villains were very iconic in Resident Evil Village. Lady Dimitrescu, or whatever the fuck her name is really like big now. But I got back into it maybe 7-8 months after launch because they released a patch that changed it to third person, and so I blazed through it, and I had more fun playing it. which makes me excited about Resident Evil Requiem, which is 9, is you can, at the beginning, you can be first or third. I think they realize that's what people want, and that you can be either or, and you can switch on the fly. So that's pretty cool. They also announced Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, which I'm really stoked about. So far, they've it's by the guys who made the Cowabunga collection for the Ninja Turtles, so that digital clips. So that makes me think that there'll be a really cool special edition of it. And they're releasing. They've only announced 4 of the games so far. Technically 5. It's Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3, Ultimate Mortal Kombat, and MK4. And a lot of the games already have the home console versions included. So if you play the first Mortal Kombat, you can play it from the arcade, SNES, Genesis, and Game Boy, which I think is really fun. And, you know, the SNES one is notorious for not being, like, you know, blood. You hit them and, you know, sweat came off them. Or there's, who's it? Johnny Cage's Fatality. He just kicks you in the chest and you fall over. And then the Genesis one outsold it something like 6-1. And that Nintendo says, oh, maybe we should have all the blood and guts in it. And so they changed it. So it'll be fun.
So this collection is only taking up to like N64 releases?
Possibly. They it looks like it, but at the end of the announcement trailer, they said they're going to announce more games.
Okay.
So it'd be sweet. I mean, one that I really want them to do is Mortal Kombat Trilogy, which was only on PlayStation and Nintendo 64. And if they had both versions, that'd be awesome, because the PlayStation version has the bosses available, and so does the N64, but their lineups are a little different. So it'd be really cool to re-experience those games. So I don't know what they're going to do with the last couple games. I think they said there's 2 or 3 more games. My guess it's going to be Mortal Kombat Mythologies and maybe Trilogy. It seems to make the most sense. And Mythologies is the Sub-Zero adventure game, which it's okay.
I was just thinking, it feels like at this point you got to take it all the way through like GameCube and PS2.
Well, that's what I would hope. But I hope they release maybe just a second volume where it'll have the GameCube and the PS2 versions of them, because those ones, there's 3 of them. It's Deadly Alliance, Deception, and Armageddon. And it'd be fun to play those ones again. So we'll see. Yeah, those are the big ones that I saw, and yeah, that was a big thing that happened this week in nerd news. We watch films throughout the week in a segment I call "What We've Been Watching." Brad, what'd you watch this week?
So, this is the stuff we've been watching.
Did I talk about Pee Wee Herman as himself?
No.
Okay, yeah. I watched the documentary Pee Wee as himself. It's like 2 1.5-hour episodes.
Yeah, I watched the first one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's cool. It's really in depth. I feel like it probably could have been one.
Yeah.
Documentary. Like there's a lot. Like they cover a lot of stuff. But yeah, it was just interesting to see like him. I don't know. Like he was clearly like a little bit at odds with the documentarian.
Yeah.
In it. But like who knows if that's him like being a character or himself.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, I only saw the first part, but there's parts in it where he's really like kind of confrontational.
Yeah.
There's I remember maybe it's a little over halfway through the first part where he's acting like a baby, just repeating what the producer or director is asking him questions. He goes, I don't know. What about you?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
And he also has this defensive thing of like he doesn't know if the documentarian's taking advantage of him or not. So yeah. I get that.
It's what I did appreciate about it though is they strip it down and they kind of leave that stuff in there because they're showing, Paul Rubens is more than just Pee Wee. But I don't know if I haven't seen the second part, but as I was watching it, it did feel like they were kind of one and the same, when he was being interviewed. So yeah, no, I think it's really fascinating. I do need to watch the second part.
Yeah, obviously the second part covers the show, the Playhouse, and everything,
Yeah.
and then up to his death. But yeah, it was cool kind of seeing like what everything about him before then, and like really understanding like Paul Rubens.
Well, I didn't know. I mean, I haven't seen Cheech and Chong's movie. I didn't know Pee Wee was in that movie.
Yeah, or the circle he like all those art students, like that whole group, like they went on to great things.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, and then I also got to see a sneak preview of The Life of Chuck.
No.
And that's a movie where like from the trailer, I'm just like, I probably wouldn't have gone to see this myself. But after watching it, you feel like in this day and age when everything's like such a bummer, like it made me appreciate life again. Like it's so like life affirming. And Mark Hamill is amazing in it.
Oh.
Like Oscar clip after Oscar
Really?
clip in that movie. Yeah. But yeah, that's just about like it's really hard to follow initially because it's like these 3 different acts and it kind of like goes in reverse order. So the first one you're like following these other 2 people and they're getting all these like advertisements for this guy named Chuck, and then like the world ends and you're just like, what what is this movie and where is Tom Hiddleston? He's like the lead.
Yeah,
he's like, other than these billboards, he's not in it. And then in the middle it kind of like they finally give you some hints on like what's going on, and like what this movie's really about. And then the first one kind of gets you down to like the life affirming part of like, oh, this is why his story is important and everything.
Very cool.
And like who these people in the beginning ended up being. So yeah, I thought it was nice.
Mike Flanagan wrote and directed that, and he's directed a lot of Stephen King stuff and adapted it. And it's kind of an interesting one to take, because I do know this is obviously not horror. And, you know, Stephen King's so well known for that, but some of his other stuff is really good, whether it's Shawshank or Stand By Me, which is based on The Body. So I guess it's just another avenue for Mr. King.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll throw this one in there. I rewatched Dogma in the theater.
Nice.
And that was cool. It wasn't, like, the crowd wasn't as engaged as I expected them to be. It was a packed house, but there weren't a lot of cheers or laughs coming from the movie as I expected. But yeah, it was still great. And I know Kevin Smith was thinking about like, oh, maybe, you know, 25 years later I should have like redone some of the effects, but I don't think they're so bad that it like detracts from the movie much.
And honestly, I would rather just let the movie stay as it is
and like preserve the original artist's work. Yeah. Like obviously the Shit Demon could be better, but like, is it worth that much effort to make it better?
I don't think so.
Or something like the digital, like Bartleby, like with the wings stuff.
Yeah.
Is that like, is it worth it that much? But yeah, that was cool. And then the last thing I saw for this week was Predator: Killer of Killers.
I did too. Movie's awesome.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I think the third one of the stories, like I tuned out a bit, like all the flying and jet things just goes a little not Predator for me. But obviously the first one is badass.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just violent and it's like cool to like see just different, like kind of the same story, you know, it's like Predator chasing a human and like they have to find ways, but in like the different cultures is interesting.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite movies of the year, only because, well, one, I mean, I love the Predator franchise, but I love that they did this and did it as an anthology, and you're charting the Predators throughout history. And, you know, I thought the middle one, the samurai one, was my favorite one. There's not much dialogue. You're just going on the action and the staging and the emotions through the animation. And it's really cool. And, you know, the animation I thought was awesome. It's this mix of, it seems like watercolor and 3D and
cell shading.
It's very unique. And even, I know you said you weren't as enamored, but I thought the third part was cool because they're showing a different side of Predator, you know, because he's engaging in the conflict through an airplane or a spaceship, which I thought was really fascinating. I mean, yeah, there's some stretches of credibility, you know, when he's on the wing and stuff trying to knock the engine off or whatever he's doing. But yeah, and I love how it all coalesced at the end to this, you know, arena fighting where, you know, the name of the film starts making sense, The Killer of Killers. And understanding the predator culture, and it's just, about war, and it ends on the cliffhanger of them going after this guy. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm waiting for the NECA deluxe figure of that predator at the end where he has like the bone cape, and I think it's pretty badass. Yeah, it's just a really cool idea, and that we're getting a second Predator movie this year is pretty astounding. And Dan Trachtenberg kind of reinvigorated the franchise with Prey, which is one of my favorite films from 2022. So yeah, I loved the movie, and I was super stoked watching it, and I love the little flourishes of, in different eras, it still had the Predator theme, but it was fitting to what was happening on screen. The Vikings one is more drum driven. It was a little more mellow in the feudal Japan one. Yeah, it was just a fun movie. And I totally forgot it was coming out, and I happened to be awake at 11 o'clock at night on the 5th, and then I realized that, I don't know if my Hulu, because I get Hulu Plus Live TV, is connected to the East Coast, but it popped up on my Hulu on the 5th, so I was like, yeah, I'm watching this right now. And then I didn't go to bed because it's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I watched a couple things. I watched Bottoms again. I love that movie so much. And when I was watching the making of it and watching the ladies, who wrote and directed it, and the stars talk about how they wanted the movie to be, and then you kind of get the vibe, but then when you hear them say it, it even clicks more about how it's real, but it's surreal at the same time, and you see what they were going for, where it's the ladies would be talking in the foreground, and in the background the football players are like flexing and like humping each other or whatever they're doing in the background. And it's just a really funny movie. And I didn't know that Marshawn Lynch improvised all his lines. Because they learned that he's a really good improviser from, what did he do just before this? Darn it, I can't remember. But they said they watched him in it. Maybe it was Saturday Night Live or something like that. Anyways, no, it had to have been a movie. I'm getting off track. Anyways, when they were talking in the behind the scenes, they said the director, she would give him just an idea of where he needed to get. And so he would go on his little, improvised lines and still get all the emotion that they needed to, hit all the funny moments. And so it's just a really funny movie that literally ends with them trying to kill each other. And they do. And the director, she hit it on the head where she said, I loved Scott Pilgrim and I wanted to make a Scott Pilgrim for a queer audience. And I said, you know what? She's exactly right in that. She did it. She definitely hit exactly what she was going for.
Yeah.
So hats off to everybody. The Blu-ray from Kino Lorber is really great. It has a making of, deleted scenes.
Did you watch the deleted scenes?
Yeah.
So in the movie, when they talk about going to juvie, I thought they were making that up to impress their friends. But the deleted scenes, they were in like a program over the summer.
Yeah, it's just an exaggeration.
What was the acronym on their shirts?
I don't know. I saw it like 3 days ago. I don't know why I can't remember.
I was like, I tried to make a point of remembering it
I
because
know,
it's so
me too.
long.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, oh wow, like, and that like makes more sense to like the sage character in the middle.
Yeah.
That they go to. I forget.
I
know it's Punky Johnson, but like I don't know what the character's name is. But yeah, it's like, where'd that character come from? Oh, from the summer program that they went to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you can read about it. It's on my list of 150 movies I love, which good news, listeners, that you don't care. I am actually starting to get back into it, so I'll start posting them more frequently. I know I trailed off there for a while, but look for Saving Private Ryan really soon. And yeah, that's what I watched this week.
Cool.
Brad, next week we're seeing How to Train Your Dragon, the live-action remake. Again, you can see us at Fan Expo Denver, July 2nd through the 6th. We'll be there. Come visit Camp Real Nerds. And
Well, we'll be loading on the 2nd. You can get in on the 3rd.
Oh, that's right. I don't know what date it is. Third's Thursday, right? Or Wednesday. It goes Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Or is it 4 days? So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I don't know if it's Thursday or Monday is the extra day, but it's a 4-day con.
It's Thursday, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because the 6th would be... Because 4th of July is on a Thursday this year, so the 6th would be Sunday. But yeah, the big news from there is Mike Tyson was announced as a guest of a very... I didn't expect someone like that to show up, but that's, what happens when Fan Expo's in charge now.
I didn't know he had a huge nerd following.
Well, man, you got to get him to sign your Mike Tyson Punch-Out cartridge, which I always thought, they stopped making because of his rape conviction. But it's actually because the licensing with him ran out, so they could only make it for a certain amount of time. Thanks, Internet. And we'll see you at the movies. Bye.
A real nerd knows who shot at a real nerd. Can follow the plot and a real nerd will give it all they got. Lights, camera, action. Real nerds.
Thanks for listening to Real Nerds Podcast, a Nebulous Visions production. Stream or download episodes, read articles at realnerdspodcast.com. Stream us on Apple or Google Podcast, Stitcher, Spotify, or iHeartRadio. Follow us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. Twitter and Instagram, @Real Nerds. Watch us on YouTube, Real Nerds Podcast. Email us at realnerds@gmail.com. Call us at 720-6nerds5. Thank you to Sparks Mandrill, Mike at Plan 9 Studios, and Bolognium for all of our groovy theme songs. And that's how you fucking do it.